Okay, so you said this in your bio, and I actually just didn't understand what it meant. So I thought this would be an interesting thing for you to explain to me and the listeners. It says, you said in your bio, I'm big on criminal justice reform and removing the thin blue line. So can you explain to me what the thin blue line is? Like, I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, so that's a term used where basically cops will cover up for other cops.
Okay.
One of the so I was military police when I retired from the Army, which I never got to do any law enforcement in it, but there's still some of that where, you don't arrest another MP. So, and the same thing goes with regular cops for the most part is, hey, you can get out of this ticket. I won't write you this ticket. I won't arrest your family. I won't do this. Well, I'm not a fan of that. And I was lucky in the state of Nevada when I was out there. They will punish the cop for standing up for the thin blue line. So one of the things they do is, or they used to do, I hope they still do it, is the commander of the state patrol. You had to register all of your vehicles and your family's vehicles as law enforcement, owning by a law enforcement person. And if you pulled one of those people over, you had to write them a ticket. There was no choice in the matter. And here's why I say this, is I think if you're an officer of the law, whether it's a cop or a DA or a judge, you know better. Why aren't you setting the example for other people? And you should be the example for everybody else to look upon. Not saying, they're going to be perfect. I get it. You're like, everybody is going to kind of zone out and maybe speed or something like that, but it shouldn't be to the point to where, like, for instance, one of the stories I always tell people about how serious it was is I ended up almost arresting a California State Highway Patrolman because he used his lights to get through a red light in Nevada. So I was like, I was a couple cars behind him in an unmarked vehicle. And I was like, what's going on? I'm like, why is he turning on his lights? He's not in his state. So let me see what's going on. He pulls up to a McDonald's.
So when you said he used his lights, like he was in his cop car. Like he didn't, like, I know some people have like lights on their regular car. So I have a question about that. Sometimes I see people in not cop cars. They're just like regular cars, but they have lights on top of them. Are those police in their regular cars? Like, what is that?
Those probably unmarked cars.
Okay. All right. So going back to what we were saying before. So you're saying a lot of these police, like, they'll be in their cop cars and they'll kind of be pretending that there's a situation just to get ahead in the McDonald's line.
So like he was in a California Highway Patrol vehicle, marked and everything. And he turned on his lights to get through the stoplight because he didn't want to wait. And so I turned mine on, got behind him and we're going, and he pulls into a McDonald's and shuts his lights off. And he gets out of his vehicle, starts walking out and said, "Hey dude, what are you doing, man?" I'm like, what's the emergency? And why are you coming to a McDonald's in my area running your lights? And he's like, "Oh, I'm meeting a friend for lunch." I was like, "Good. Give me your driver's license. You're getting a ticket." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're getting a ticket for running the red light." So I was like, "No, we don't play that over here, man." I'm like,
"Yeah, no, that's wow." So your opinion, to repeat the phrase, because I've never heard this phrase before, you're for removing the thin blue line. The thin blue line is this. Is that a popular opinion amongst cops?
No. Matter of fact, it's very much looked down upon that if you don't stand up for that, like especially in some of the bigger departments, you may find that you can't get backup when you need it. Okay. Like they'll just be like, "Oh, I didn't hear it come over the radio." Or, a whole bunch of other things. They may actively look to try and get you on stuff. Which the part of the reason for that is obviously, cops aren't accepted in normal society. So I kind of, last time I had a conversation about this, which was with another comedian, Eric Frost, as a matter of fact, me and him have had some really cool discussions about all kind of things because we can just sit there and talk about stuff. But I tried to explain to him, I said, just think about it this way. I said, this is how this all kind of gets created. I said, think about it. Like, cops aren't accepted in normal society. Like, if they can't wear their T-shirt saying, hey, I'm a cop, and go hang out at, Burger King or the regular bar, because people get nervous. And two, they're looking for you to do anything wrong so they can, call your boss and tattletale on you. So we've literally secluded them into this little corner where the only people that are comfortable being around them and the only people that they're comfortable being around are their own people and their families of those people. And so now you've literally set them up where if they do tell on their family, now their blue family, they've been, excommunicated. And now you're on an island to yourself. So, not saying that excuses it, but that's part of it also.
It's part of the reason. It's like, this is their, then I understand what you're saying. It makes sense. It's like, well, these are my community of people. I'm just going to go with the common thought here because I don't want to be excluded from these people. Like, I'll have nobody left. So it kind of makes sense that everyone just kind of like goes together on that. Yeah. But you're right. I guess that doesn't excuse that behavior.